Hello, my friends, family, saints, and ain'ts. Happy Thursday, thankful Thursday. This is what I love to call Radiant Rap because we talk about all things that I believe we need to do to be healthy and whole mind, body, and spirit. The Radiant is an acronym for rest, activity awareness, diet, introspection, agua, note taking, journaling, and training of our mind and our body. And my prayer is that these this Thursday time that we are together, it blesses someone. Seriously. All right. So before I go into what we're going to talk about this Thursday, let me just tell you a couple of things about today. It is National Do Something Nice for Your Neighbor Day. And I didn't even know that. I just kind of stumbled across that. And I didn't really think of anything, but I do have a neighbor that just moved not too far away. And I already had in mind something that I wanted to give her. So I'm going to make sure I do that. I'm going to reach out to her today. It's also National Love a Tree Day. I love that. National Love a Tree Day. And I'm sure there's a whole lot of other days that today represent, other things that today represents, but it's also Wear Purple for Peace Day. So I have on just a little bit of purple. Purple for Peace Day. I think that's pretty cool. This is National Women's Health Week, and it's National Women's Health Month. It's us also National Hospital Week, and what we're going to talk about. My friend we're talking about today, she had a little stay in the hospital. It's Lupus Awareness Month. It's Older Americans Month. I'm an older American. There are more people younger than me in America than are older than me, for sure. Mental health awareness. We've been talking about mental health all month, and today is no exception. What we're talking about today definitely has some mental health aspects. It is National High Blood Pressure Education Awareness. It's national, very important. It's National Nurses Month. It's National Physical Fitness and Sports Month. And it's National Stroke Awareness. A couple others. I want to just give a shout out to the teachers. It is National Teacher Appreciation Month. And I think I already said nurses, right? Yes. Well, a friend asked me to share a life and death message, something that really scared her, to as many people as possible. And it was, based on a recent experience. So I thought, well, let me ask if it's okay for me to share here on this platform, because certainly, I'm going to prayerfully reach people. And I thought the message was really important, but I had to ask her permission because I wanted to dive a little bit deeper in terms of what I was going to share. And she gave me her blessing so that I can share it. Well, I'm going to call my friend Danny. And I picked the name Danny because one of my favorite tennis players, American tennis players actually from this area, from St. Pete, is playing right now over in Rome. All of my other players like Coco, and they're all out. And so I have one low American left in the semifinals. It's Danny, and she's playing right now. So go, Danny. So let's call my friend that I'm talking about Danny. So what happened this week is she had to have carotid artery surgery. She had stenosis in her carotid artery. And if you don't know where that is, those are the major blood vessels in your neck. You have two of them, one on either side, and it carries oxygenated blood to your heart and to your head. Okay. And when you have blockage, it could be minor blockage, anything under 50% blockage is considered minor. Anything between 50% and I think like 79% is moderate blockage. And last year she had moderate blockage. And, this is something, yeah, it's serious, but it's no big deal. What made it a big deal and why I wanted to talk about it a little bit. Let me just also say that symptoms that go along with this stenosis of the carotid artery involve obesity. Well, I shouldn't say what can contribute to carotid artery blockage is smoking, obesity, high blood pressure, your age, and hypertension. Okay. And in my friend Danny's case, she's really done a good job of taking care of her body. She exercises, she eats well, she does not smoke, she has a good, healthy weight. So sometimes there's other factors. Her cholesterol levels were a bit high, right? And so this is what I want to talk about, because Danny felt like, well, let me just control it with my diet. And that's all well and good if you're able to control it with your diet. And so this is where and why I'm so passionate about this conversation, because sometimes we'll either say we're going to control whatever it is, hypertension, cholesterol, with diet and exercise. And we may not do diet and exercise. We're going to get around to it, but we don't. And in Danny's case, she was doing those things. Or we're just in denial and we'll just ignore it. And even though, like, I'm 62 now, so I'm at an age, I'm seeing people much younger than me, 10, 20 years younger than me, that are checking out of here, dying from strokes and heart attacks. Some of that may be, doing drugs and stuff like that too. And in Danny's case, she found out last year that her carotid arteries were clogged. I think it was about 70% at the time, 75%, which is moderate, getting close to high. And she still, for a while, maybe 4 years ago, she was controlling the numbers with her diet and exercise, and then it wasn't. Sometimes that could be genetic. There are genetic factors, like me with hypertension. For a while, I was able with my diet to control my blood pressure, God's grace, all those things. I was able to control it, and then I wasn't. And so, there's probably a genetic factor involved when you are doing the right things. We have to understand when it's time to say, okay, let me take a low dose of whatever, because the things that can happen, right, the risk can far outweigh the benefits of saying, oh, well, I'm controlling it with diet and exercise, when you're really not. And you don't know, because you're not having it monitored. You're not going to the doctors. To Danny's defense, her doctor wasn't really adamant about her doing anything. The other reason I wanted to talk about it is because Danny is a very independent person. Like a lot of my friends, a lot of people that I connect with, independent, private, don't want people to know that they're vulnerable or have a weakness, so they're not going to say anything. And my friend told nobody for a whole year. And fortunately, I was so glad to say that when she did go into the hospital, she didn't say anything to me, but she did tell, a family member, which is great. And a couple of friends that she was going into the hospital. So, Why it's so important is because this is somebody that is so intelligent. Danny is smart. Danny is active, walks and exercises. Danny watches what she eats. I mean, she's not perfect with her diet, but she watches what she eats. But she still was like ignoring the signs. And when she had the test done last month, she had 90% blockage. And the only reason she went and took it seriously is because a friend of hers mentioned that her husband's stroke, he had a stroke, and it was the result of him having clogged carotid arteries. And another person she knew, she heard of, died of a stroke. So that is, just God's grace that she was like, okay, God, I hear you. And she went and she had it taken care of. And so it's too late for medication at this point, 90% blockage. So they went in and they basically clean out the arteries so that the blood can flow the way it's supposed to. Because, depending on which branch, the clog goes in, it can affect your speech, your eating, your face, all different things. And so the other thing that I just really wanted to highlight is let's not just, I'm saying these things because I love you, right? Let's not just say, oh, I'm going to do what I want to do. I mean, it's your choice. You have free will. But consider not just living, I'm going to do because when I go, I go. What if you don't? What if you have a stroke and you have to live the next 20 years in bed and your family has to take care of you and you can't take care of yourself? It's no guarantee that if you have this illness that you're just going to, okay, have a stroke and die, have a heart attack and die. Ideally, wouldn't all of us like to suddenly go? But it doesn't always happen that way. And we can't control all of the scenarios. We can't worry about all the scenarios either. Ideally, what we can do is do what we can to take care of our health, to eat well, the things that my friend Danny was doing, eat well, exercise. But what she didn't do was pay attention to the signs. And I'm not going to beat her, over the head. She really felt like, I was, but I'm not. I'm glad she got it taken care of. I'm glad that Danny is doing well and that she's living to tell this story, right? And like I said, she did tap into finally some of her community. Okay, a couple of things that I want to leave with you before we go. One, life isn't supposed to be done alone. She said, I was too busy. I've got so many things going on. I told her that's an excuse because if I communicate with her a lot, she sees me a lot. So she knows things that are going on in my life, but I don't convey like I can't handle you telling me anything. She doesn't see me stressed. She doesn't see me, like not being able to handle things that are going on in my life, just how I'm living. I'm not yelling, I'm not stressing out. So I appreciate that those of you who feel like I don't want to inconvenience anyone. But you know what? We're supposed to be a community. No man is an island. We're supposed to be together. We're supposed to be a family, not just, biologically, but communities of people. And she has community, my friend Danny. So number one, you're not supposed to live alone. Don't let your pride not reach out to other people. Number two, daggone it, take your medication, please, please. Ideally, you're not just taking the medication and eating and drinking any daggone way you please. Of course, again, you have free will. You can do that, right? But quite often, the side of like what happens, the consequences are not good. They're grim. They're horrible for your families, for you to suffer. So try and do better. Number three, don't assume. Don't assume that what other people are doing, that what's going on with you. Ask questions. And in this case, she did have a doctor who was a little bit lackadaisical about it, but they did want to put her on medication. So I can't even blame the doctor. So that's it, my friends. I'm just encouraging you. I'm watching people suffer needlessly. There is help out here. We can do better. I know a lot of the food brands, the insurance companies, they want us hooked on this stuff and sick, and when we, are like, because I have like supplements or whatever, and what's in this? And we'll get real like, I don't want to take medication. But you don't say that when you pop, shoving down those little hot Doritos and chips, and what's in this when you're eating, that pork sandwich that you got from, the pit down the street, and then or even, some concoction someone made that's not unregulated and stuff, and oh, this is good for me, and you don't, what is in this? You never say that. This pizza with all the extra cheese, you never say, oh, what's in this? But with medication or supplements, oh, what is in this? So I don't want to take medication when I don't have to. I don't want you to. Food is medicine, but sometimes we need more than just that. And God, guess what? Made pharmacists and scientists to help us to fill the gaps in where we need them. So just don't say, I'm not going to take medication. Again, that's your free will, but I pray that you will consider going to the doctor. You haven't gone to see about something, you had a cyst. Oh, let me just say this real quick about Danny. One symptom that she had last year, she went blind. It wasn't for a long time, but she was sitting in a conference, and a black circle went over one eye and couldn't see, and then it went over to the other eye. That's a sign, that's a symptom of a clogged artery. There's other symptoms too, but that's one. Okay, so your body sometimes tells you things, sometimes it doesn't, because like heart attacks, strokes, they call them silent killers. But these other symptoms, these underlying things like smoking, like high cholesterol, like diabetes, like hypertension, and aging too, genetics as well, stress, and overabundance, because there is some stress that's okay, but the chronic stress that can make you sick. All right, I know this was so serious, and I'm not going to say I'm sorry, because I'm not. I love you, and there's nothing you can do about it. And if I influence, and if Danny influences one person to go to the doctor to see about what's going on, to start being serious about taking their medication consistently, being serious about eating a healthier diet, finding out what it is, because you think you're doing eating a healthy diet and you're not. So finding out what really a healthy diet is, and learning that you can still have pleasurable food, but maybe learn how to have a better relationship with food. Because it's not about the weight. It really isn't. That's the last thing. I know that's what we want to do, but we want it to be about, all the superficial stuff. If we take care of the things that we need to do, for the majority of people, your body will release any unhealthy weight that it needs to. We're all different sizes. We're all different. Um, uh, we're just all different. We're just all different. So you're healthy. What's healthy for you may not be what's healthy for somebody else or what's healthy for me. But yeah, you do have a healthier weight, and you don't have to worry about your weight so much if you are doing the things like moving and eating properly. If you need help in any of those areas, let me know, okay? Because I'd love to help you. If you haven't already, can you follow me on social media platforms? Like friend me on Facebook and follow me on Instagram and TikTok. I'd love to follow you back too, as long as you don't have nothing crazy. Because like Instagram, people, I know I'm going off topic. People on Instagram, they have these private things. If I don't know you, I'm not going to ask to go into your private. And I understand why it might be private, but I don't do that. And yeah, there's just, if I don't know you, or if I see content on your page, like if it's not nice, okay. All right. Again, love you. Nothing you can do about it. You have greatness inside of you. I believe in you. Bye for now. I didn't get any comments. Can you put some comments in here? I'm leaving, but give me some feedback. Give me some questions. Okay. Let me know that I'm not just alone, just blowing hot air. I mean, I want to know that it's making a difference. Okay. All right. Love you. Nothing you can do about it.